Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Leela Rhodes and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at NetCom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's webinar, Designing the New Creative Experience for Businesses. And presenting today's topic is Vishu Aggarwal. Vishu possesses over 8 years of experience in graphic design and web design, UI UX design, 3D animation, video editing, digital marketing, and virtual augmented reality. And he's completed his master's in Adobe Creative Cloud and conducted trainings and consultancy for Big Four companies like Accenture, Deloitte, KPMG, World Health Organization, WHO. And when it comes to training, he always follows the in-demand trends of the designing landscape and includes the best training practices to boost business productivity, remain profitable, and competitive. He efficiently narrates his real-time professional experiences with his students. Now, please bear in mind that this is still just an overview of a very robust topic. We do offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored toward your specific requirements. If you're interested in a further discussion about any of those, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at www.netcomlearning.com. NetCom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adopting change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. NetCom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio for design and multimedia courses. Our upcoming classes include various training courses such as Photoshop Advanced, Adobe Design Advanced, Premiere Pro for experienced editors, and much more. Private training to teams is also available, and those learning plans, they can also be customized to the specific needs of each audience. You can also access a variety of design and multimedia marketing assets, such as the free 1-hour training, free on-demand training, and blogs by clicking on the available webinar handout. And these offerings can also be found with a simple search on our website at www.netcomlearning.com. In this free webinar, we will unlock the powerhouse of creativity with Adobe Creative Cloud. Aside from an introduction to Creative Cloud, this informative and fast-paced session will also teach how to work with desktop apps and how to upload, download, manage, and organize Creative Cloud files and libraries, and much more. And now I'm going to go ahead and pass the time over to Vishu to present our topic for us. Hello and welcome. You should be able to share your screen now.
Yes, thank you, Lily, for giving the rights. Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to the webinar about designing the new creative experience for businesses. And here I'm going to introduce you about Creative Cloud, what Creative Cloud offers you, right? What are the different applications you can apply in your business when you will be, using the Creative Cloud. And then we will look at a small demo of how to use Creative Cloud libraries and how does it integrate with the Adobe softwares. So let's get started here. So the agenda is already been discussed by Leela, but we're going to talk about getting started with Creative Cloud, how to work with desktop apps, organize and manage the Creative Cloud files and libraries, uh, taking the Creative Cloud services, and then doing the Q&A at the end. So the first thing we need to understand is what is a Creative Cloud, right? What does Creative Cloud do? So Creative Cloud is a collection of 20 plus apps for different domains, whether it's photography, video, design, web, UX or UI, and for social media, right? Plus, it integrates the essential services and the essential creative options such as color palettes, using font families, and you have the power to collaborate with anyone, anywhere using the Creative Cloud. And like Adobe says, creativity for all. It does not really mean that you use Creative Cloud only when you are a creative person. Let's say maybe you're a graphic designer, web designer. Everybody can use Creative Cloud. And from any kind of a business, even if you're a small startup, You can use Creative Cloud to make your brand stand out in the market when you're doing marketing and sales. And maybe it's a bigger business. You belong to a bigger MNC, right? You might use the Creative Cloud for your marketing practices as well. So creativity for all. So what are the apps, the core apps the Creative Cloud offers you? First is you have the Acrobat Pro. So it's Acrobat Pro is basically lets you manage your PDFs and create PDF documents, sign them over the cloud, and you can do a lot more with the Acrobat Pro. Then you have Adobe Photoshop. This is one of the most well-known softwares, probably does not need its introduction, but in short, Adobe Photoshop lets you do great image editings and compositing. Then we have Adobe Illustrator, which basically lets you create illustrations. And for example, you want to create your company logo, you will probably go to Illustrator and create a logo there. Then we have InDesign. So if you're into a business like to create a magazine or booklets, or you want to create your monthly newsletters, probably you might end up using InDesign for creating those durable materials. It is majorly used in industry when you have text heavy documents. Then we have Premiere Pro. So Adobe Premiere Pro is a video editing software, right? It has been used in filmmaking. It has been used in corporate filmmaking. So you can use Premiere Pro for any kind of video production and for post production actually. So it lets you edit your videos. Then you have Adobe After Effects, one of the most popular application in the industry for creating motion graphics. So it lets you create motion graphics and do a lot of VFX in the videos. So very popular software in the industry, right? If you see any motion graphic, like for example, if you see any kind of a motion in any graphic, if you watch TVs, right, you might see a particular logo getting animated, or text coming with the animation. Probably it is done in Adobe After Effects. Then you have Lightroom. If you're a photographer, or if you have a team of photographers, then Lightroom is a perfect tool for you to edit and manage your photos. And it also integrates with other Adobe apps very well. Then you have Adobe XD, one of the most, uh, the youngest tool I would say in the Adobe Creative Cloud, and one of the most popular tool nowadays in Adobe is the Adobe XD, which lets you create UIs. It is a very specific tool which Adobe has designed for the UX and UI designers, and that's it lets you easily create website designs or the app designs layouts. Even it lets you create UIs or the user interfaces for the gaming. Then you have Animate CC, formerly known as Flash. Animate CC lets you create frame by frame animations and HTML5 animations. We have InCopy. It's kind of a small kind of a software which very well integrates with Adobe InDesign, right? So with the Adobe InDesign, it very well integrates, and it lets the team of editors and the sub editors to work with the master InDesign copy, especially when you're working in an environment, or like if you want to create newspapers or magazines on a monthly basis or on a daily basis, you want to work with the newses, or you want to basically you're working in a press or a printing press company, then probably you will end up using InCopy as an editor. Then you have Character Animator. So it's an AI based tool in the Adobe Creative Cloud. It whatever motions you will do in the front of your webcam, it will mimic that motions in the character you have created, a 2D character which you have created. So Character Animator, as the word says, it can animate the character while using the webcam, and whatever emotions you will do, it will capture that emotions. Then you have Adobe Capture. It's a mobile app basically which you can install if you have the Creative Cloud subscription, and it lets you capture real world colors, real world patterns, and shapes. Then you have Fresco if you are a painting artist, right? If you love to paint, And if you own one of the iPads with the Apple Pencil or any of the tablets, then Fresco is the tool for you, because you can really do uh, great paintings using the Apple Pencil and the Fresco app. We have the bridge to manage our files in Creative Cloud. We have Premiere Pro Rush. So if you don't want to do very intensive editing like you might do in Premiere Pro, and you want to create a quick, good results, and you want to do a small edit, maybe for your function, maybe for an event, you want to create a quick video, you might use Premiere Pro Rush or Premiere Rush basically here. It's like a minimized version of Premiere Pro. Then you have Adobe Photoshop Express, which is basically a mobile app which lets you use some features of Photoshop from your mobile device itself. We have Photoshop Camera also. So the Photoshop Camera can capture essential details while you're taking a photograph and can edit it in your mobile phone itself. Or if you're using a tablet, you can then also use the Photoshop Camera tool. So we have Adobe Media Encoder, a professionalized tool by Adobe just to encode or decode the videos. And you have Adobe Scan. If you want to scan day-to-day documents digitally, you can do with the Scan app, which is available for iPad and the mobile, the iPhones. Then you have Fill and Sign. It's one of the product which is integrated by Adobe in the Acrobat, right, where you can basically do e-signing and filling. You have the Acrobat Reader, which all of you might be using already. It's again a kind of a part of Creative Cloud because you get Acrobat Pro over here. Then you have Lightroom Classic. Now you might say, what is the difference between a Lightroom and a Lightroom Classic is? Lightroom was introduced by Adobe to bring a more uh, collaborative uh, process in Lightroom. So even if you take a photograph in your iPad, even if you take a photograph in your iPhone, or if you take your photo with the DSLR cameras, right, and you transfer those photographs to your desktop, all the device can be synced over the cloud, and all the processing of the photographs happens over the cloud, which is basically using the Lightroom app. But if you use the Lightroom Classic, it's more kind of a traditional app which will sit on your desktop, and you can do the editing on your system, right? You can save those files on your system. They are not on the cloud. And then you have Adobe Dreamweaver, one of the well-known tools for building websites or developing websites. It lets you give a code editor with the code hinting, so you can easily build websites using HTML and CSS. Then you have Dimension. Adobe has been now entering into the 3D industry as well. Adobe has been known very well for being into 2D graphics and the video tools, but now Adobe is also moving towards Dimension. And Adobe Dimension was one of the first apps, I would say, which really shows the capabilities of integrating the 2D software with a 3D software over here for creating mockups and a quick 3D prototypings here. Then you have Adobe Audition. Now, Adobe Audition basically is a well-known app for sound editing and sound mixing. Then you have Ereo. So this particular app is basically used for creating AR experiences. So Adobe is never behind the technology. So if you have a document in Photoshop, you can probably visualize that in the AR. Then you have the Prelude software, which basically works with Premiere Pro as an import process in Premiere. So there are a lot of apps. I have not even mentioned all of them as of now, right? There are a lot of other services. There are a lot of other apps, small apps you get with Adobe Creative Cloud to enhance your experience overall, and your teams can work in a more collaborative way. And then you have the Lightroom Web, which I forgot to mention here. Now, Adobe generally divides this software into categories. We'll talk about those categories now. So the first you have is the category of photo, right? And in the photo category, you can see there are various tools, though we have already discussed these tools in the previous slide. But the photo category of the Creative Cloud tells you can create incredible images with the world best photography tools integrated together. Whether you talk about Photoshop, whether you talk about Adobe Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop Classic, or Adobe Photoshop Express, or Adobe Photoshop Camera, they all very well integrate with each other. And one of the most popular apps or the most powerful app out of all of them is the Adobe Photoshop, which works on your desktop. And what you see as a picture over here is basically a composite which is created using Photoshop. So your creativity is just the limit, right? You can, with these tools, you can just create anything you like as a composite of pictures. Then the other category the Adobe gives you is graphic design. Now you might see some of the tools getting overlapped here in the categories if I talk about, right? Because they all help you in that process in short. So you can create gorgeous designs and documents for print and for animation. So you have again the tool of Photoshop, which lets you do image editing, composites of the image. So you can take them to the Adobe Illustrator. You can design some this kind of a graphic, right? And then you might take this kind of a graphic into InDesign to display it in your document, right? Maybe in your browser or maybe in your magazine design. It could be anywhere. And then you have the finally the Adobe Acrobat Pro or the DC over here to basically optimize your PDF files, which you might export from InDesign or to create digital forms using Acrobat. Then we have the video category here. In the video category, we can basically say create and edit amazing videos and audios and visual effects and the motion graphics, right? So the first tool you have is the Adobe Premiere Pro. And sorry. So the Adobe Premiere Pro lets you do the film editing, right? The current version of Matrix which is coming is also edited on Premiere Pro. Let me tell you that, right? So Premiere Pro is a very powerful application for video editing. But with that, you have a very lot of other supporting tools with Premiere, such as Adobe After Effects, which lets you create motion graphics. Motion graphics, VFX. For example, you can see over here on the hand, we have a fire coming in as a composite. And if you want to play it as a video, you can do that with Adobe After Effects. So it is being used for creating compositings of different videos together, or you can use it for traditional motion graphics. Then you have Adobe Audition, like I told you about the sound mixing and editing, but it has a lot of capabilities to it. If you're editing a movie in Premiere Pro, or if you're basically creating some kind of a motion graphic in After Effects and you have some audio, you want to correct it, you can very seamlessly correct that audio using Adobe Audition. Now, Adobe Character Animator, like I said before, it mimics your webcam movements, but it very well integrates with Adobe After Effects. So whatever movements or character animation you create, you can easily take that to Adobe After Effects, further customize it, and get a great end result of motion graphics here. The other two tools, like I've explained before, the Media Encoder and the Premiere Rush are basically the helping tools with the video. So if you want to export a video from Adobe After Effects or from Premiere Pro, then probably you will end up using Media Encoder here, right? And if you want to create a very basic casual videos, you might use Premiere Pro Rush. It is also a mobile app. It's also a desktop app available to you. So you can capture the video using your mobile phone, or you can import already a captured video and you can create quick memories using Premiere Rush. Then you can do illustrations with Adobe. So there's another tab you're going to find in the Creative Cloud which talks about illustrations, and you can create beautiful drawings, illustrations, paintings for web or for the print. And the apps are distributed across the tablets and the desktop apps. So you have the Adobe Fresco, which you can see on the interface here. This is exactly the interface of Adobe Fresco here. And you can use the iPad and with the Apple Pencil to create paintings using Fresco. Not only that, you can bring those into Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop to further customize it, or you can also sketch your graphics using Photoshop or Illustrator. Adobe Capture lets you capture real-time colors, and there are a lot of things you can do with it. I'm going to show you a demo also of it in the Creative Cloud library, what it can really do. Then you have the UX and UI category, which is going the most popular nowadays in Adobe. And because of the introduction of XD, which is also known as Experience Design application of Adobe, and the Adobe XD basically lets you create very quick UIs. Previously, a lot of designers and businesses to design their UIs using Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. However, with the need of the time, because the UIs are going so dynamic and we need to create a lot of prototypes of them, Photoshop and Illustrator didn't have the feature of prototyping. So Adobe created a new tool, just focus on UI designing and the prototyping. And that's how the Adobe XD was born in Adobe family. Then, of course, it integrates very well with Illustrator, Photoshop, and After Effects. Illustrator for graphics, maybe you want to create a very customized icon or something. You can create in Illustrator, you can take it to XD. You want to edit a photograph for your UI, you might go to Photoshop and do that. But why Adobe After Effects? Remember, Adobe After Effects is a animation software for motion graphics or giving any kind of motions. And nowadays in the UIs, right, if you use mobile apps very frequently, you will see a lot of animations going in the elements while you're using the application. That is probably might be created using Adobe After Effects. Adobe After Effects has great plugins nowadays available for exporting their animations into Looty files, which can be used in your UI designs. Even you can use them natively in Adobe XD now. So it gives you a great bunch of softwares to work with in the UX and UI. Then besides this, the major tools which I mentioned here, besides all this, there's another thing as a service you have. Now, all the tools we have talked about so far, it's for probably for professionals, right? Who have some kind of a technical knowledge, or I might be a beginner or an intermediate level of knowledge to work with those tools and to create an end result. But if you're a marketing person, if you're just a salesperson, right, you want maybe you're a person who controls AdWords and you want to create your own advertisements, or maybe maybe you might do a social media management for a company and you want to create social media post very quickly, and not too customized, but you want to create good looking social media post and so on. Then there is a service which Adobe Creative Cloud gives you, known as Express It, Express service, you can say. Known as also Creative Cloud Express now, and it really makes standout content from thousands of beautiful templates. It's going to give you a lot of templates from where you can create your logos. Let's say you're a startup company, you want to create your own logos and work with them. You can actually do so, right? By using Express. You can create flyers, you can create cards, let's say visiting cards or invitation cards. I use it a lot personally, when I want to create a person invitation card for my families and friends. So I use Express a lot. So you can create web pages for it if you want to showcase your work. Let's say you're a freelancer and you just want to showcase your work without going to any expensive hosting or using very uh, coding intensive tools. You can basically use web pages in Express. Then you can create videos as well in it. So you can create video based presentations using Express it, just using your web browser. You don't even need a special system. All these tools, all these options actually just work using your web browser. So you don't need even a special hardware to run this. And you can create social media posts. There are a lot of things others you can create, like brochures, uh, presentations with Express it. There are a lot of options you have, and there are a lot of templates available to just work with them. And those templates are probably designed by a lot of professions in the community here. Now, besides this, also Adobe also masters in one more thing, which is the services it gives you. So in the Creative Cloud, it gives you not just apps, but something greater than apps also. It gives you a stock marketplace now, which is known as stock.adobe.com. It's one of the biggest library going now, growing every day, day by day, by because creative Designers of Adobe keep adding a lot of templates, which are free also and paid also to use. Then you have Adobe fonts. You have the calibrating power now using, like, for example, Creative Cloud libraries or Creative Cloud documents. And then you have the option of creative communities such as Behance, Adobe Live, Adobe Portfolio options. So it can give you a lot, it gives you a lot more in a single package here when you're going to use it. Now, what makes the Adobe apps great and why it really creates a great experience for businesses? Because of their integration. All the apps can almost talk to each other, right? So you're going to see basically that they very seamlessly integrates with each other and they work with a complete cycle. So you can design without limits. One suite option you have is with endless inspirations, and you can unlock a lot more within the apps, especially with the integration option. I will take you through a very small journey here of talking about this integration and how this whole process works. So my motive will not be able to teach you apps here, remember that. So I'm going to switch back to Adobe Illustrator here. You can see I already have a template going on here, right? I already have a template here with a basic circle and some background here. And I need to use one of the pictures which I have in my libraries. So within the apps, actually, you can go to the libraries here, right? Within the libraries here, and I can go to the Creative Cloud over here, which I've created as a library here, and I can simply use the graphics here. You can see. So let's say I want to use this picture here, I can click and drag it to drop it to use it here. Go to click and drag to actually place this image. I'm going to make this in the forward, bring this in the front, arrange, bring to front. Oh yeah. Okay. Still going background. Let me check the layers here, and you can see it's coming on a different layer actually here. No problem. I'm going to simply move it up manually here from the layers, and you can see the image is now coming in. Now let's say I want to remove its background, right? I don't want to have this background. I want to remove this background and just have the man in place. So I can simply switch back to Photoshop. I'm not using traditional method. A lot of you might place the image here, then go to edit in Photoshop, do the editing, and then update this back. You don't have to do it. If you're using a library document, you can simply go back to Photoshop here, and I will go to the window option. I will go to my libraries, and I'm going to see the same picture here. I can simply select this, right click and say edit, or I could have taken a copy of it over here. Okay, so you can see it's now basically showing me the background which has been removed over here, right? So I just clicked on edit here to edit it basically, and it removes the background here. It's probably picking my history over here to edit it, but I just want to show you one more thing here. So I'm going to basically go here, right? I will simply take a duplicate of it. You can also take duplicates over here in the library. I can again right click on it and say edit. If I click on edit, you can see it will open up again. So it's basically the same file, so it's not opening it again. You can see the edit and edit. But if you go back to the Illustrator, we are seeing the background here, right? Which you don't want. So what I will do is I will set this document, add again as a graphic over here, back to the library. You can see as soon as I add it here, it gets edit over here as well. And I can again right click, go to edit. You can now see it's showing with the background over here, right? Let me just close these two others, which I was having here. Close this, sorry, cancel this. And you can see it's showing me the edit here. What I can do is I can simply go to the edit option here, and I will say edit in Photoshop. It's going to open up here. Now, how do I remove the background of this graphic? What I can do is I can use the Adobe Artificial Intelligence or the machine learning here. So for that, what we can do is we can simply go to the option of select and say select subject, or I don't even want to do this process. The select subjects uses a machine learning in the background, selects the object for us without any manual efforts. But there's one more better way which Adobe have recently introduced. Uh, for with this also, I will have to do 2 clicks to remove the background here. But now if I go to the properties panel and if I go at the bottom here, you're going to see that I can remove the background here. I just click quick actions like this. It uses machine learning and the, like I said, the AI of the Adobe Sensei removes that over here. I can simply save it, right? It's coming from the cloud, so I can go back over here to document and let's wait for it to update. If it does not get updated sometimes because I'm just using a network here, local network here, right? So it might not get updated here. So not a big deal. What we can do is we can save this graphic, right? Which we have in the libraries and then we can replace with that. So what I will do is I'll simply click on the plus sign, say add a graphic here. I can do that. You can see it's coming with the transparent background. And if I go back to Illustrator, instantly it gets updated here, right? Somehow it should have replaced for me here, right? Not doing it, not a problem, because we're using the libraries. I can simply delete that over here and again click and drag this here, and you can see we have the picture removed with the background here, completely removed the background and this. So basically you can see the power of the libraries here. Not only this, if you go back to Photoshop, go back to Photoshop here, let's say I take this original image and I want this colors from this image, so I can simply right click on it over here. My mistake, on not right click, I'll simply select the image here, and if I go to the plus sign here, you can see I can say extract from image. If I click on extract from image, I can actually extract the colors from it or the pattern from it. So giving a pattern, I can say color themes. It selects the colors randomly from the image, which could be the part of it. I say add save to my CC library. You can see it's been saved here. And if I go back to Illustrator, I can use and utilize those colors here, as you can see. So I can simply go to the background here probably, and I want to use the probably the light red color, I would say. Let's just click on it and there you go. So I have the color applying over here, right? And nowadays you can basically simply go to the file, save a copy directly to the cloud, and you're going to get a lot of advantage besides saving to your computer. You're going to basically get an both online and offline access of it. You can sync to all your devices where you use the cloud, Creative Cloud. You can auto save every change, and it creates a version history for you up to 30 days. So for up to 30 days, you can go back to your design to the older version, and you can invite people to edit it. So for example, if I say, okay, save to cloud, like the AI folder here, just having one folder here in my Creative Cloud files, I would say, I can simply save it over here. And it's been a cloud document. It gives me the indication over here, cloud document here. And I can send this for review purpose. I can simply click on the circle here to share the document, and I can share this link with anybody to review. They don't need to be a member of Creative Cloud. So maybe if you want to share with your client to get a feedback on your design, you want to share with your stakeholders who don't own Creative Cloud, they can also comment on it. So they don't have to be a member of Creative Cloud. And you can get a direct feedback from there. So for example, if I create on copy link, go back, I'm going to my Safari here. I'm going to open a incognito mode here, the private mode. So I'm not logged in here. You can simply go here and make a comment on this design. Okay, it's asking for me the Adobe ID. So I'll have to do that. Just give me a second. I'm going to open it now. You can see it will start opening here. Okay, somehow it's not showing my login account. So give me a second. I'm going to quickly do a login into this window. Sorry about that. Of course, I will not be using my Creative Cloud account. I'm using the non means just the Adobe ID to sign in here. and to preview this document here on my screen. We're going to sign me up and show me the design. Now it says you can't access this link. So why can't I access this link? If I go back here to share the link, now there are two options. So it has link access only invited people can have. I can change it very easily to be anyone with the link, right? Go back, copy the link again, or I can simply refresh that web page. There you go. So this one does not have a basic Creative Cloud account to it. You can say it says buy plan to me because I don't have one on this particular ID. And I can now comment. So I can simply go here, comment, let's say. I can simply say change color for the t-shirt. I can submit. And as soon as I go back to my Illustrator, in few seconds, my cloud is going to sync those comments and I will see that live comment over here. So it might take some time. You can see it took some time here, but you can see it shows me change color of the t-shirt and it's giving that pinpoint here also directly in the app itself.
We are going to hand the presentation rights over to Nishad. He's our inside sales director. He's going to introduce some promotions and webinar related courses. Nishad, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Leela. Thank you for allowing me to spend a few minutes. Vishu, it was a nice, detailed presentation. I enjoyed throughout. And I don't know much about Adobe, but I do know that I don't know how many of you know that Adobe is named after a river in California. And it's a fun fact. A lot of us probably are not aware of it, but I learned that as I was listening to you, and I was just looking into this company and the portfolio. My God, over the years, how Adobe changed and evolved. As I'm sharing my screen, I just want to go over a few important items that are relevant for you to know. And thank you, all the audience, all of you, for your presence today. NetCom is a company that promotes the value of lifelong learning. So as a result of that, besides the paid subscription classes, there are many events that we run on an ongoing basis that you could be part of. That could be Adobe Creative side or even highly technical areas of the cloud computing. Whether you are an engineer or a designer or a programmer, we have a course for you. So on an ongoing basis, you can always join this promotion page where you would be able to find our current offerings, whether it's from Microsoft, AWS, Cisco, and so forth. But I do want to, share with you a subscription that we just recently launched, and I think it's very beneficial that you are aware of it. It's called NetCom Plus. Just like Netflix or many other subscriptions, this is the way the world is heading. So what we did is we combined pretty much 80% of our ongoing regular publicly offered classes. We'll put them together in a 12-month bundle called NetCom Plus subscription that promotes all of our publicly run classes along with e-learning content. And obviously this link, I'm going to put it on the chat so you can also have access to it, or you can real time, you can go to netcomlearning.com /solutions /netcom plus. Basically, I want to quickly show you what it covers. So from the vendor perspective, besides Adobe, Autodesk, it pretty much covers all the major vendors that we run classes, Microsoft, AWS, project management, Tableau, and so forth. As you can see on the left, it's a 12-month subscription that you have access to 24/7. And most importantly, these are not just regular content that you just learn from online. You actually attend real-time classes. So all of our publicly run classes are available here. And if you are interested in exploring more, you can certainly filter out what the classes you might be interested in. So for Adobe, if I just click on, all of the Adobe related classes that we are currently offering at the moment will open up. You can certainly explore them even farther by going into any other vendors that you might be interested in. Now, last piece that I want to quickly talk about is the price. This course, this 12-month subscription is about $2,999, but it boils down to $24.99 if you have 10 or more learners. So if you are representing an organization, please do ping us. Depending on the number of attendees or even enrollments, we can come up with a special pricing for that. So with that, I want to hand back to Leela. Thank you for the opportunity. And once again, I appreciate your attendance today. We look forward to seeing you in our other masterclasses and webinars. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Okay, we will go ahead and jump right into our questions. Once we do get through our questions, we'll go ahead and wrap up the session. So go ahead and make sure you get yours into the question panel if you want to get those asked. Our first question is, what is the difference between individual Creative Cloud versus Teams Creative Cloud subscription?
So I think it's one of the most common questions asked in the Creative Cloud. When you talk about the Creative Cloud, so there are individuals accesses you have. Let's say you work as a freelancer or an individual artist, you can basically go for the individual subscription. If you have a team, if you're an organization, you have number of peoples working as graphic designers, video editors, so on, then you should go for a team license because it will give you more storage on the cloud, which is up to 1 TB compared to 100 GB which you're going to get for the individual. There are a lot of other benefits you can do. You can control the licensing of each individual and how they work together. So that level of control you're going to get in the teams. And of course, if you buy for a larger team, you might get an additional discount from Adobe.
Thank you. Our next question, can I only get Adobe XD subscription?
Yes, you can surely get Adobe XD subscription itself. Let's say you are just a UX and UI designers, and probably you don't need any other tool of Adobe. So you can go for the XD subscription itself. Like Adobe is now offering that option to you, and you can just pick any one of the software. Actually, just not Adobe XD. If you want to just be interested in Photoshop only, then you can simply subscribe for Photoshop, and you don't have to subscribe for the whole bunch. But if you want to, subscribe for like 2 or 3 softwares, if I'd say, right, 3 or 4 softwares, then it will be cheaper for you to buy the whole bundle of Adobe, which is Creative Cloud, instead of buying the individual apps.
Thank you. Okay, it looks like we have another question here. What is the standard course duration of a Creative Cloud training?
Okay, so Creative Cloud, like I discussed in the webinar, so it's approximately 20 plus apps you have in Creative Cloud. So as per the Adobe official curriculum, and I've been an instructor for Adobe from a very long period of time. So the standard course generally ranges from 24 hours to 40 hours of a training, depending on what tool you want to learn and in how much depth you want to learn that tool, right? If you say I just want an introduction or intermediate, then probably it might be for a lesser duration compared to the expert, from basic to expert level. But the majorly the standard courses if I talk about is from 24 to 40 hours in Adobe.
Thank you. And is Adobe Stock free to use with Creative Cloud?
Oh, that's a very good question. So basically, Adobe Stock is only giving you 5 images or 5 credits, I would say, to be initially be used with Creative Cloud. Otherwise, it's a paid subscription. You have to subscribe it separately for it. The only benefit you get is that it's very well integrated with the Adobe apps itself. Like I was using the Creative Cloud libraries to use pictures, which I have stored it. Same ways you can actually access directly the pictures from the Adobe Stock in your Photoshop, Illustrator with the watermark. And if you feel that it's fitting your design and the needs, you can just license that. But that licensing cost will be, of course, be separate from the Creative Cloud.
Thank you. Okay, our next question. Can I share my Creative Cloud access to any other CC user out of my company as a guest?
So that's probably not allowed. So however, with the one licensing of Adobe Creative Cloud, you can actually you can log into 2 systems, right? Or you can share your license with the other person, but you will have to log out from a system, right? So I can give, if you find, if I find that I can share my login password with someone else, I can actually do it, right? I can share my password and the login details with the other person, but I will have to log out, means I will not be able to use my apps, and the other person will get access to all your files if you have been storing in the Creative Cloud. So that could be a little bit dangerous also, right? So probably you're not going to do that, and that should not be, done. But maybe in a special case you might do so. So probably Adobe will not stop you doing that.
Thank you. And it looks like we have one more question in our queue before we wrap up. Do I always need the internet to use Creative Cloud apps?
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest myth, that we need always the internet to use the cloud apps because it's named as Creative Cloud. That's not true. If you have the downloaded version of any of the Creative Cloud software, you can actually use them offline whenever, wherever you like. The only condition is after every month or so, Adobe checks whether your subscription is still valid or not. Right, so you can even use your Photoshop, maybe let's say for 15 days, 20 days offline, right? And but maybe after 30 days you will have to connect to the internet just to verify that you are still a member of Creative Cloud subscription.
Thank you so much. It's been just a wonderful session. In addition to today's webinar, we have a lot of informative webinars coming up. So please go to www.netcomlearning.com/webinars/ to register for any of those. We want to thank you all for joining us today. If you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to us at webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. And we hope that you all found today's webinar to be informative, and we really look forward to seeing you back here with us very soon. Also, feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. We want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Vishu, for the wonderful presentation, and have a great day.
Thank you everyone.